So you have been investing into real estate and you are still confused whether you should keep these properties on your name or you should incorporate it. Let's find out. What is up, YouTube? This is your host Yasin Nizami, and today we are going to talk about, as a real estate investor, should you keep these properties on your name or should you incorporate them? But before we dive into this, if you're new to my channel, I personally welcome you. Thank you very much. And if you did not hit the subscribe button yet, please do it now so that you don't miss any future content just like this one, which I will be keep publishing through this channel. All right, so let's get back to the question. Well, there is no yes or no answer, right? So it depends who do you ask and what is your circumstances. So for example, if you take a legal advice from a lawyer, the lawyer will say, yes, you should definitely do it because then your personal assets are protected. Because there is no liability on you personally, because if the properties are owned by corporation, somebody wants to sue you for anything, they can only go after corporation, not go after your personal assets like your car and your house, things like that. But if you talk to your mortgage broker, they will discourage you doing that, because if you are creating a brand new corporation, then it's very hard to get mortgage on that, because there is no history, there is no financial health information about the corporation, so you will hardly get mortgage under the corporation. But if you talk to the accountant, they will definitely say, yes, you should do it because you will get a lot of tax benefits in terms of keeping your properties under corporation. So it really depends upon what you want to do in the next 5, 10 or 15 years. For example, if you want to restrict yourself to just keep 3, 4 or 5 properties at max, then maybe it's not good idea to go for corporation, because when you go into corporation, then it increases your complexities, right? Keeping properties on your name, it is simple to manage, the taxation is simple, and there is no complexity in that, right? So, but if you are going to go above that, then you may have to think about filing under corporation. One reason you should think about this is there is a limit where you can keep properties under your name, because as you go above that, which is I think in Canada up to 5 properties, if you go above that limit, then banks will stop giving you mortgage, because it is too risky for bank to give you more lending, because your liability increases too high. But if you go 6 properties or above, then it is considered commercial financing, and in that case you should definitely go for incorporation, because then it makes sense, because you're increasing your portfolio and your liability is increasing. Then it makes sense to keep this under corporation. The other scenario is, for example, you started as low and you're slowly growing your properties and you hit the limit 5, and now you're going to go for the 6th property. Then what you gonna do? My advice to you is that you should go for corporation, because if you still want to keep properties on your name, you will not get the mortgage. Then in that case you should get some other partners to be joint venture with you, and then you keep them on the title and you stay off title. In that case they will get the mortgage on the title, and you will still be able to provide some funding through your corporation. The third case is if you're flipping the property. Let's say if you're flipping 2 properties in a year, then it really makes sense to go under corporation, because then you're running it as a business. And if it is that frequent, then definitely should be under corporation in order to keep everything in proper structure from taxation and liability and legal perspective. So let me break it down, the pros and cons of incorporation or not. So if you keep properties under incorporation, then the number one benefit is liability. Your liability will be transferred to corporation, so nobody can sue you for your personal assets. Number 2 is anonymity. A lot of times the investors do not want to give their personal information to the tenants. For example, your address, your name, your contact details. So if you keep them under corporation, then your information will become anonymous. The tenants will be dealing with the corporation in terms of documentation, paying rent. If there are any issues, they will also communicate through the corporation. Number 3 is the tax benefits. If you keep properties under corporation, then you're basically keeping your personal income and your business income separate. In that case, you can still keep your personal income under the lower tax bracket, but at the same time you are getting all the tax benefit from from declaring your business expenses under your business income. So that's another advantage. What are the disadvantages? So disadvantages are, of course, there is a cost. If you open a corporation, then there is some cost of opening it up and then running it, from accounting perspective, from legal fees and all that stuff. So keep this in mind. So you will only want to go into corporation when you think you have enough income and enough cash flow coming in, so that you can offset the cost of keeping the corporation. Number two thing is, you should be keep in mind that if you have the corporation opened or established, then you don't want to transfer the properties from your name to the corporation, because when you do, there will be some tax implications, because you're basically transferring the title. If you are in Ontario, there will be land transfer tax applicable on you if you transfer the title from you as a person to the corporation. So my advice to you is, up till 5 properties, you can keep them on your name, but as you grow and you buy the 6th or 7th or 8th property, then you can purchase those properties under corporation from that point onwards. Do not transfer the title, because if you do, you will be liable to pay land transfer tax. That's it from me now. So if you like it, give me a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button so that you don't miss any future content. As a realtor, my responsibility is to keep my audience informed about these topics, so that you can make your educated decision for yourself and for your well-being. So until my next video, take care. Bye now.